ordinary girl named Julianne. Born in 1990 to two ordinary parents, you would expect her to be your typical American girl. However, Julianne is not your typical girl. Due to a brief affair that her mother had while pregnant with her, the tennis player, karma struck and gave Julianne rocket hands. This is a document of Julianne's life. She attends Beloit College and lives in French House. She tries to live as normal as a life as possible. This is a day in her life.
It hasn't really been weird having rackets for hands. I get weird looks, but I've gotten used to it.
When we first started rooming together, it was pretty annoying to hear clanking around all the time. Like, I used to wonder, should I help her? But, we talked about it and it's fine. She tries to be as independent as possible, and I really admire that about her. It's just, I'm kind of a light sleeper, so I just started wearing earplugs to bed and it's fine.
Usually it takes Julianne a good hour to get ready, and that's on days when she doesn't put on makeup. By now, Julianne is famished and wants breakfast. Her favorite is bagels, but the toaster creates sort of a safety hazard. Although Julianne does attend classes, many of her teachers requested that we do not film her in that environment. Ironically, we were too disrupting of a visitor, despite rumors that Julianne is quite the presence herself. Instead, we decided to do the next best thing, interview her classmates.
Julie, she's really nice and insightful, but the thing is, she's one of those people that talks with her hands, like, a lot. And while I would like to talk to her, I can't sit next to her. Just for my own safety. Like, on the first day of class, I sat down next to her, and we talked for a bit, and then out of nowhere, bam! Whacked in my face. So now I can't sit next to her. I mean, she almost broke my nose.
It's almost funny in a way. Like, we have lived together in MI. She insists on sitting at the table instead of the desks in the back. At the beginning of the year it was fine, but as the year progressed, fewer and fewer people sat by her. 3 weeks in, she has a whole side of the table just to herself, and everyone else is crammed in the back. Now it just looks like Steve Wright is preaching just to her. It's kind of a funny image if you don't think about how much it sucks for the rest of us.
All right.
funniest thing ever happened in my geology class the other day. Usually Julianne gets one of the back tables to herself, but it's Prosby season, you know? So what happens is poor little side sword sits down next to her, and Julianne is really friendly, so she starts talking to him. And we're going to have to do a lab later that afternoon, so there were like rocks on the table, and I was talking to my lab partner, and the next thing I hear is, "Oh my god!" Turn around, and the poor little Prosby is laying down with his head on the table, and there's blood streaming out of his nose and everywhere, and it turns out Julianne asked him where he's from, and when she did, she whacked him, and she hit him in the head, and he smacked his head on the rocks, and, well, he's definitely not coming here, and which is good, because he was kind of lame, you know? So, yeah, I wish Julianne would come to my classes and talk to Lane Prosby's, you know, weed him out. That would be great. It'd be so awesome.
Oh, it's great. I'm learning so much, and I have so many friends in my classes, which is really nice. And I was homeschooled my whole life, so it's really nice meeting people who aren't my tutors or my parents. Yeah, I tried out for the racquetball team, and you'd think I'd be a pro, but it was actually quite the opposite.
Yeah, it's really fun to play with Julianne. It's quite the self-esteem booster. Even if you're the worst on the team like I am, you can still beat her. She has a mean hit, but you really win when she has to serve.
Okay. Sadly, one area that Julianne has not found success is her love life.
Yeah, I've had a couple of guys pursue me, but it turns out they're into things I'm not really comfortable with. There is this one boy, though.
Yeah, I've seen her around campus a lot. She seems pretty nice.
I think I'll sit with him sometime.
As you can see, Julianne Racket Hands has overcome her obstacles. Although she will never be truly accepted by society, she has carved out a space for herself at Beloit College. Julianne Racket Hands will live in our hearts forever.